What is up, you guys? Welcome back. Glad to be here. This is going to be a bit of a different video. Just kind of talking about, you know, just my view on how I think TFM is doing now, and just kind of, throwing my opinion out there. But I'd love to have your guys' opinion. I'm sitting here outside of my mom's. It's raining, and it's a gloomy sky right now. But looking at TFM, I got to be honest. If we go back and we look at where we started and where we are now, I think we've came a long ways. I don't think that 2020 really, for some reason, it's one of them things. Someone had asked me, what do you think about 2020, and why is it taking so long for them to add the accessibility that needs to be there? Well, guys, we got to look at, there's a couple things here. So if we take 2020 on the left and we take P3D/TFM on the right, TFM is something that we all started talking about as a community, and then finally got, found someone that, between Jason and Andy, they started working together. Jason was working on it first, and then got up with Andy, and then more things got added, more updates, changes, and that's totally different than when you look at 2020. When it comes to, it's all about money, right? 2020 is all about money, and let's just face the cold reality of it, and that is that, even though there's, even if there was 400 of us, we're still a very small community, which I don't think we're anywhere near 400. We might have, 30, 40 people that I know, well, not a complete 40, but maybe 30, maybe 40 people that we know or possibly could be flying in the BVI community. And if there had been as many in Microsoft and there was hundreds of us, then they probably would focus on it a little bit more. But because of the fact that the money really isn't there, they're what can they make off of us compared to what they're making off of the rest of the community? We don't even come close to cutting the straw on that, So that's really why Microsoft is taking so long. And I don't agree with it. I don't like it. I think that it's, one of them things where, it shouldn't matter. Technically, it shouldn't matter. But, it is a money-making project. If honestly, if we go back and we look at P3D, did P3D go out of the way to make it accessible? Not really. It just happened to be that way, because that's just, the luck of, draw the straw. We got lucky, and it was, it's more accessible. We can navigate through it more, a lot easier. We know how to go through things. We know how to set things. With 2020, we can do that somewhat. We can, if you've got Xbox controller, you can, go into settings and all that. I can do that. Fly on Aviatype, which I've not done for a few weeks now. I'm probably in debt now that I've not been flying, but that's okay. I'll just go back and start over. But, either way, I'm glad to see where we are with TFM. And, I think that with what Andy's done, I want to obviously thank Andy for that. I think we all thank Andy for that, and Jason for, adding some more updates in there. And, I get it. Sometimes, Andy and Jason both, they got lives outside of TFM, and sometimes they got other projects. I do too. I can't fly as much as I want to. But, all in all, at the end of the day, I'm really glad to see TFM finally get some more updates that really help us, right? Like, guys, for the first time, I actually manually landed a 737. Well, 739. I manually brung it in. And I'll tell you what, that's tricky, because when you got a hold of the yoke, or I can't even imagine a flight stick. I did it with the yoke, and that was challenging enough, because you really got to have things set just right. If you don't, you'll go too far to the left or drop. It's just crazy when you're free flying. There's such a big difference, and it really gave me a good perspective on how much the plane really works when it's on autopilot. That thing's really doing some work for you. Check out the sky, guys. It's rainy and all that stuff. But either way, I'm glad to see where we're going with this. I'm going to remind you guys, tomorrow is going to be the podcast. If you want to catch the podcast before the podcast is even published, I'm going to live stream on YouTube as well. I don't do that every time, but just to give you guys a chance to catch it, instantly, you can tune into BVI Pilots and listen to the podcast. And I'm going to have the chat turned on, so if you want to ask some questions, we'll see if Andy has time to do that. And, like I said, I'll have the chat turned on. Now, I will tell you, if you're tuning in through Facebook, sometimes that doesn't work the way it should with the chat. But you can, it's easier to tune in through the YouTube and do the chat that way, because then you can, chat and I'll instantly get it, and then we could ask the questions. So, anyways, thumbs up to Andy for the updates that you've done on TFM. Really appreciate it. We all do. And shout out to all the BVI pilots out there. I'm proud to be a BVI pilot. I'm proud to be a BVI simmer, rather. Let me add that in there, okay? Don't want to get them trolls started on that, but I'm proud to be where I'm at. I enjoy, flying with. We've not done it a lot, but hopefully that'll change and we can start doing some more events together. The thing is Declan's been really busy. There's been a few events. I've not been able to participate because of college and work. Luckily, things are going to slow down and I'll be able to, do a little bit more of that. I've got a couple classes in the summer, but I graduate college the 21st. And it's been a long road in college, and maybe I'll talk about that another time. I don't want to bore you guys. So, guys, I appreciate every one of you. I'd like to remind you to tap on that subscribe button and join us here at BVI Pilots. If you've not yet joined us, be sure to tap on the notifications button and set your notifications to always, so that you are notified each and every single time that we publish a new video or go live. Until next time, my friends, keep the blue skies up. And if you got them going down, Houston, we got a problem.